Are you filled with feelings of self-doubt? Do you find yourself prone to minimizing massive dilemmas? The smallest problems to get blown completely out of proportion? At the Pierce Institute,
A little loud, one sec.
pending Somnosculpt technology provides safe and effective dream therapy while you rest in the comfort of our flagship clinic. Located right next to the secondary overflow parking lot at the University Medical Centre. Somnosculpt will make your dreams come true.
Yeah. Nice FPS. God, is there like... This FOV is too much. I am using a controller, which... probably not the best call, but... I know like a bit of this game. I've seen chunks.
Terms of service
I know the
accepted.
general idea.
Congratulations on falling asleep. Welcome to Somnosculpt. Your progress may be monitored by qualified specialists. This
Probably should be
orientation
playing
will
on
adapt you to
mouse and
eyelids,
keyboard.
our
But...
interactive, lucid induction dream state in which you retain full consciousness and control.
I figure the game is short enough, I'll just use controller, it won't be a big deal. I like acceleration, dude. God, really acceleration on the movement? Eesh. I would have done this, I would have not even... Then if you move like a little bit, it's like really bad. It'll take longer. I'm
Confirm.
fucking
You can move freely, interact with surrounding objects,
controller
and
as
listen
well,
to messages from your patient
alright.
care team. Please note that I am
I
the
figured there wouldn't be
standard
that much like
orientation
crazy movement.
protocol, and that my voice has been explicitly
But
chosen
I
to
always
remind you that I am not a part
forget,
of your
man.
patient
First
care
person
team.
just sucks on
I
controller.
do not care.
Like even if a game is simple, man, it's not a good thing. And there's some small movements for perspective in this, which is on your controller, especially when you have this like rapid movement shit. Now you can rotate. Just left and right. Close. When can you make this thing? Interesting.
During eyelids, you will lose the ability to awaken suddenly due to realizing that this is a dream. Evidence: I have already informed you that this is a dream. You did not wake up. Please complete the remaining orientation activities.
Sorry.
Warning: you have deviated from the orientation pathway. At the Pierce Institute, patient safety is a keynote in our corporate priority tetrahedron. A variable degree of force can and will be authorized to ensure patient
I'm
safety.
not supposed to be over here at all.
Please return to the orientation pathway.
It's pretty trippy. Sometimes it's hard to tell if like the distance, if it's a small object closer to you or a big object farther from you kind of thing. I guess that's where the shadows come in, but what's the point of this? Something down there? Oh, I see. Interesting.
All environments perceived during eyelids should reflect a typical mental state. If you believe your mental state was compromised by Somnasculpt, please provide a comprehensive, rational explanation in your post-procedural survey. Completed surveys may be eligible for a gift card.
Can you just grab it from the other side? Can't tell what the default, like, distance is. Like, how far away can you just put shit? Mess with perspective. The repeaty corridor or something. Or not. I touch both these at the same time.
Please stand by for polite recognition on your completion of the Somnasculpt orientation. You did it. To maximize the time allotted for your therapeutic journey, please do not delay in proceeding through the final doorway as indicated. You do anything with the cheese here? The microscopic fucking thing of cheese, dude. Can you just like put this somewhere?
Maybe like you. Maybe you can like squeeze in between that. I doubt it. Oh, you just knock it over. None of that was a thing. I mean, it showed them kind of like down, but I thought they were just still stationary. Like you couldn't do anything with them. Solid. I'll be right back. Okay. Oops. Not a super big one. I actually just saw a picture of him like, oh wait, yeah, this is him in John Wick. Because I'm pretty sure we've had a conversation where we were mistaking Reddick for somebody else, and I was like, oh, maybe this is that again. But it's not. Can I like climb over this? But a little bit, yeah.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to talk to you about being special. So special, in fact, that we have no idea where you
Reminds
are.
me how little I remember of
Not
some
to
shit
worry,
sometimes.
We're working on it.
But I guess Fishburne wasn't like the biggest part of those. There's a lot of people who get shot up at him. Do I need to like align this? Oh. Okay. Creates the object. Said I have seen some of this, but I don't remember that in particular. Like a planter in here, a vase. There's this one. Like take it off. I align this correctly. Ah. I see. Tricky. What are you up to today, the Ripper? I might watch some more movies tonight, I'm not sure. In a chill mood, but also kind of getting in a bad mood here. We'll see if I do another stream. We'll finish this game today, but maybe we could do like a bond or something. Oh shit. There's stuff on the other side here. Interesting. Cool. Well, maybe we'll do a little something. Or my brother will go to bed and I'll be in a better mood. And then maybe I'll stream some more. Depends. Perception is reality.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'm just popping in to give you a quick update on where you are. We still don't know, but please keep moving forward, and hopefully you prefer frequent updates to being reminded that you are completely lost.
What do I want to do with this though? Oh, it opened the path there. Could go up to that. I don't know if I really care though. Actually, I don't know if I can. Don't worry about it. Let's keep trucking.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and we still can't find you. But you should now have access to a series of elevators that should trigger your subconscious to gradually wake you up. You should also find a variety of emergency exit signs that should lead you to them. Will all of this work? Absolutely.
It sounds like Falcon Hoof. Huh? It's all this on the top, man. Oh, the exit. Groovy.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce. In the event that this elevator does not wake you up, please don't interact with anything that strikes you as psychologically significant, as we will no longer have any way of
I should be playing on mouse and keyboard. There's one thing I like to do in puzzle games, especially short ones. Try to see like how fast I can beat them. I mean, not skipping all the story, but just like a fun deal, especially for ones that aren't like overly complicated. For some reason, I just enjoy that. I mean, obviously not gonna like go really hard, but.
This is an automated message for all
Here and
patients
there.
who attempted to use an alternate pathway to access the next phase of somnasculpt therapy, but who have become trapped in a dream state paradox instead.
Stanley
Your
Parable, yeah.
decisions imply a failure of orientation,
This
which
definitely
reflects
looks,
negatively on
seems
the
a lot like
standard
Stanley
orientation
Parable.
protocol. You will rectify this failure immediately.
Curators only. It's got that kind of like office, bizarre office humor thing going on. Like abstract office thing going. And yeah, the narrator. Yep.
Professional tip: the average adult can only withstand 3 to 5 dreams per night. Once this threshold is eclipsed by entering more dreams, your mind will suffer an explosive mental overload, reorienting you for the emergency exit protocol. Please subject yourself to explosive mental overload.
I don't know if that's quite true. I'm sure it's all just bullshit. I do wonder if there's some kind of like dream limit. Oh. It's cute. It's a neat bunch of little concepts and stuff.
The risks associated with explosive mental overload implies a misunderstanding of all other solutions, all of which are far more traumatic and likelier to result in catastrophe. I am not capable of suboptimal suggestions. Please exit this dream as soon as possible.
Like a lot of fun perspective gimmicks and stuff. I can see why it wouldn't be like a really long game. I mean, there's only so many you can do. Like, it's very interesting if you keep doing them fresh, but like, how far could you really take the mechanic on like a individual puzzle level kind of basis? It's fun though. It's cool. Very unique. I don't remember any of this either. That's good. One of the good things about fucking bad memory, it seems like. I don't know if I'd really say I have bad memory, it's just play so many games. Just can't remember every little thing. Some stuff just doesn't, it's just unremarkable, just doesn't stick.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and despite touring the Waterfall Serenity Zone in the previous section you've just completed, you may still be experiencing feelings of worthlessness and self-doubt. Why do I feel like everything is going wrong, even when the sun is shining?
Murder. What a beautiful day for world domination. The trick here. Oh, you can just like kind of walk into the the void. Yeah, there's clever tricks like that where they kind of fuck with what you think is the case of something and then it's not actually. Like you assume there's just a wall there because of this, but then it's a low-hanging thing. Like, yeah, I guess it's a perspective thing, but not in the kind of puzzly way there. It's just... I can see you not like manipulating an object to be super crazy. It's just a raw dog, like, oop. Murder. Thought it'd be like one of those things just don't look or something, but walk off to the side. Oh. Yeah, like instead of manipulating object for seeing there's more going on than we really think. More than meets the eye kind of deal. Good way to mix it up. I expected it to just be
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn
focused
Pierce,
on one kind of
and
thing.
I'd like to talk more about
cool
the
that it
feelings
like
of
mixes it up.
worthlessness and self-doubt I mentioned before. You feel this way because
See if
you
all
want
the
kind
concepts
of
are just
happy
as
life
interesting.
you see all around you, the kind you know everyone else is enjoying. And that's exactly why we're here to help.
Oh, was that supposed to be a face? See, they like to do the perspective stuff. Yeah, I'm like busting too much ass. They like to do the perspective stuff even with like a little small thing like that. That stuff's cute. Shadow stuff. Like once you get your mind wrapped around what they kinda gonna try to hit you
Warning.
with.
You were advised
Doesn't
to
take too long to
subject
figure
yourself
out, but
to
it's always
explosive
interesting
mental
seeing
overload
the
by descending into additional
puzzles.
dreams, but have now descended into a dream within a dream instead, disorienting yourself even further. You are responsible for failing to make this crucial distinction.
I need to like take this. I think I actually do remember something about the blood on the ground. Like I said, I remember bits and pieces. I don't think it's actually blood. Not that you would really believe it anyways. Diet soda. I want to do something with this. Oh. This is cool. I guess there is some stuff you can do. That's not true to say that the same mechanic can't be used other ways, but this is more of like a creative way. Right? You're using that to make it bigger to adjust light, not to like make a 20-step fucking, you know. It wouldn't be fun for like a 20-step block puzzle, right? It has to be more creative.
Did you know that unintentional multi-dream layering occurs in less than 1% of patients? This correlates strongly with the 99% of patients who are able to follow simple instructions from the standard orientation protocol.
It's just interesting thinking about different kinds of puzzle games. What concepts can actually be used like over and over, and what are more quick gimmick types of things or novelties. And I guess they can both work. Avocados. I like guacamole, man. Quite a bit. That shit is super unhealthy, though. Oh. I thought we were in a level there. At the door. I was about to not hit that one too, but figured I could hit it on the run. Interesting. Yeah, this worked out. What does it just make a slightly smaller clone of the next one? Yeah.
Attention! Dr. Pierce requires you to note the following risks of dream overexposure. Significant memory loss, both quantitative and qualitative. Hallucinations of dreaded or annoying objects. Unrealistic beliefs about the lengths of hallways. And other side effects which have not yet been discovered or which cannot be understood.
Jesus, this is annoying. Smiley face cursor. Just notice that. Or was it? It totally was for a second, I think. Not anymore. Am I crazy? I'm fucking crazy. Fucking the Big Apple, man. What's going on here? Oh, I remember seeing this room. I don't remember how to solve it though. This is one of the things I just remember seeing. Can I not use this? Guess not. Very small apples. Kind of like roll it up. How big do they have to be? I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it, but I'll take it. Smash.
Dr. Pierce is
I'm so
frantically
clever,
submitting numerous
like the
spelling
other
and
ones
grammar
have.
mistakes into the standard orientation protocol in a desperate attempt
Or
to
just
counsel
brute
you.
force.
I have no subroutine to correct these errors, but I cannot compromise the integrity of the standard orientation protocol. You will not receive these messages. They would not make sense regardless.
Kind of crap, man. I like knock this around. You just climb up. Okay. It's like, there's no way.
Attention. Dr. Pierce continues to input significant errors. I will interpret his basic ideas. Hello. My introductions are redundant. I am a real doctor who went to doctor school. VR has never been a mistake. I can help you, but I also do not know how. Transmission ends.
The story's got some cute moments, but it's definitely not
Hello,
like the draw.
name is my
The
Pierce,
main
Dr.
draw.
Glenn. To the Somnosculpt Welcome Experience.
Also, I should sit there. Oh. I should probably sit and listen. This we cut that one off way early. I didn't realize. Elevator, I think, is always a cutoff. I guess these are kind of the different chapters. The time of day. Ooh, comfy.
I had a dream. Years ago. I had a dream.
I mean,
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce. This is a notification that you have reappeared on our monitoring system after a prolonged absence. Please continue to do whatever you did most recently, and discontinue whatever you were doing immediately prior to that.
Okay. Might be a little too big though. I'm a fucking wee lad right now. Interesting from like a technical side of things, like how they seamlessly pull a lot of this off with no weird loading. And I mean flipping around and shit appearing as loading is hitting loading screens has always been a thing, but like extra seamless in this.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce. In addition to continuing and discontinuing as mentioned earlier, please also disregard any unsettling experiences that you may have recently had. Everything should have now reverted to being soothing and therapeutic. If this is not the case, you may be receiving this message in error.
What's up, Chris? How you doing, my dude? Thanks for watching the movies with us yesterday, man. Oh. Alive and well? Amen. What more could you want? Good stuff.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to read you my favorite inspirational quote by me. The worst thing you can do is focus on negativity. It won't spare you from the cage.
Yeah, cool. Well, even just lurking or whatever reason, man. It's always good to have more people in the movie streams.
Shell of human nature, or the eventual loss of everything you've ever held dear. Whatever you do, don't focus on that.
Oops. Let me get my ass up there higher, though. Yeah, I've been wanting to rewatch The Matrix, so it was a good time to do it. Very large right now. Maybe too large. I watch some more movies after this today, we'll see. How does this work? Does this make me like microscopic? I don't think this is quite what we'd be after. I'm curious. Yeah, I think I'm too small. I can't get back up this thing. Oh. Oh. And I need to make myself a little larger here. Yeah, it's pretty trippy. Actually, I want to get that exit. I can just go back out there. Oof. I don't think this is supposed to be able to get in here. Like at all. We might be destroying the game right now. Very real possibility. In fact, I don't think we're supposed to be able to get that thing out. The goal is to just go back. Yeah, I think it's fucked. You're not supposed to be able to take that past that wall there. Maybe I do need to turn myself small here. Like, you can make this super big this way, but... I don't think that's what you want exactly. I guess you can make it super big and then, like, walk out of the door. See how that looks. Oh my gosh, it'll take eons to get up there. I think I made it too small, fellas. But I'm curious. I think I'm way too small, man. I'm traveling like millions of miles right now. Can barely get over this lip. Okay, just clip right into it. I don't even know if we're gonna reach the oh. If we're gonna reach that thing this way. It looks like it's slightly beneath it. Chill piano tunes in this. I'm sure there's supposed to be a mix of comedic and actual chill. Won't this make me just like fuck huge? That's not gonna help with the door. No, wait, this might not make me big at all. I think about it. It just depends. Oh, and I can't even get in, dude. Come on. And the baby finish, man. Yeah, I was aware of that. That shit's pretty funny. Look at crouch. Oh, it had like a lot of issues. I guess I'm not surprised there. I'm too big. Oh, really? That sounds awesome. I'll be able to get in here. I don't think I get like far enough away to make this big enough though. From up here, make myself slightly smaller. It's like the trains or in Fallout or whatever, right? Isn't it just like a giant train helmet? It's just your body running still though? Or something ghetto like that? Let me choose this big train hat. Nice. I mean, whatever works and the player doesn't notice. It's just funny coming from Bethesda because it seems like such a Bethesda thing. Some ghetto fucking shit like that. Okay, clearly we gotta do something else. It's this giant like bottom and how bouncy it is. It's like the fucking issue here. And you can't grab it from the side. Be more careful with where I'm putting it too. I guess I could just set it there. That works. Simple. Instead of trying to force everything to be based around doing this weird janky movement. That's a bit more clever that
My
way.
name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to thank you for triggering every single one of our 823 emergency protocols.
No, I'm sure Modder's
This will
done it all
assist us
better.
greatly in improving the system for future patients. Congratulations. Anyway, you're now headed in the right direction, and we should be able to initiate the emergency exit protocol shortly.
The fuck am I trying to get bigger right now? I'm trying to get bigger then. Guess we want to like get through the keyhole. I don't think I'm small enough. Still not small enough. This'll have to do it. We need to get taller. Oh, that'll do too. Jazz. Sometimes you kind of have to rethink, like reorient around how the perspective thing works. Like as long as I could physically make it like look smaller by just kind of doing small movements, and that's kind of enough. So just jimmy in it. Takes a bit to get used to, but that's neat. What exactly am I doing here? Cardboard Lovers Association. Cat. Yeah, that kind of stuff's just really interesting to me. Those little tricks and things they do to kind of like make things work. It's like people who work in sound effects and of any kind, movies or games, like just the kind of like unconventional creative things they do to like make things sound like what they want. Because, you know, you can't like record a spaceship going off, and it might not even sound good for what they're after, so they have to like get creative and stuff. And that kind of stuff in game design's really cool too.
Please prepare to conclude your
That's why behind the
experience
scenes,
in 10, 9,
like dev tracks and shit for games are really
Error.
interesting.
error
Because when you watch like a documentary, they'll talk about like general stuff, but you want that like that really small detail stuff. That's cool.
Orientation protocol.
Stand by for
It'd be fun to do
analysis.
one of the Valve ones. Valve has usually dev commentary playthroughs you can do on each of their games. Tacoma did. I didn't mess with it much.
Complete. You are exhibiting signs
Portals were
consistent with an
interesting.
increase in fear, hopelessness, and frustration. This is inconceivable, as Somnasculpt therapy is proven to correlate with a decrease in these emotions. Hypothesis: patient was improperly oriented. Conclusion: impossible. Reformulating. Improved hypothesis. Patient requires additional somnasculpt therapy. Conclusion. Emergency exit protocol cannot proceed. Emergency exit protocol has been emergency destroyed. Instruction. Continue with somnasculpt therapy indefinitely on an independent basis, as all orientation resources have been exhausted. This concludes your standard orientation protocol. Goodbye.
Something I'll have to do. Oh. Oh. What the fuck? Carrots. Diet soda and carrots. Wow, for free. I love The Office. We're going to die here. This freedom.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce. Thank you for completing the Somnasculpt Standard Orientation Protocol. Before you begin the first phase of therapy, I'd like to briefly describe the finite and fragile nature of the dream state.
Oh, soda. Please, no, let me back. What is soda? There's a crack in the wall. Can I pick anything up? Yeah. I think it's the, like, American Office kind of comedy thing going on. This is a bit more about... Well, this is trippy too, but this is a bit more puzzly. Where Stanley Parable's kind of just like a walking experience. Whistle at the floor, whistle around the world. Yeah, I thought I would just have to switch my orientation, but I don't think that's how it works. Can I climb up these? There's my whistle button. Boom. Something on the roof. Is there something I can like mess with? Oh, interact with this. Ay, ay, ay. Like the electrical stuff, that'll get me out of here.
Of course, nothing is more challenging than the difficulty of changing perspective, of fundamentally altering your perceptions in a way that will enable you to face dire, trial-by-fire scenarios with solutions that could not be found otherwise.
I like how this is playing with everything you expect to do. And then it like has a drop or something comes out beneath the floor. It's cute, they're playing with what you've seen, right? Like I said, I feel like it's the only thing you can really do. Because the concept is like essentially like simple. So you keep making more like cute creative uses on it. Like just making objects bigger with perspective. Like there's only so much you can do, but like in just a room with all the creative uses, it's neat. That makes sense, look at all. One of the walls or something. Yeah, it's them kind of taking the simple concept and just doing weird things. Like I said earlier, like, you know, you could just keep making puzzles about stacking blocks in weird ways, but there's one where it's like you make a light get bigger, or yeah, they pull something out from under you while you're making something big, and they stack different stuff. It's cute. It's probably the reason this game's like sure. Cycle cardboard only. I don't know. I mean, I like out of the box puzzles though, so this kind of thing's cool. I mean, they sure make it seem like there's something over there. They're just supposed to keep running through it, but... I can't see the grabby icon. I don't see one. It's probably playing on controller too. Is I don't move the cursor around as much. Hey man, I've been blitzing through it, relax. the object. The one place. The one. Was it something like you're just not supposed to look at the dead end of it? What if you get back up? Yeah, I mean, that's possible. Unless it's like I walk backwards to the dead end. Oh, okay. Yeah, how come that didn't work when I tried it before? Didn't I already try something like that? I guess it's the first place you look is the dead end. Maybe I tried walking backwards, but I didn't actually, oh, can't get in there.
Finally, while we respect the unique progress of every patient, you must understand that it is possible to completely exhaust your supply of dreams, thereby entering a state in which you will not be able to wake up, even with the help of triggering mechanisms.
Help me, I am dying mentally. there an actual puzzle here then? Oh. There's a line on the ground. Oh, that was actually it.
Please listen carefully for the sound of an alarm clock, which will automatically play if you are approaching a
pretty cute.
destabilizing dream weight.
Kino. Oh. You know. I guess it's gonna do that on all of them. If you can catch when it goes 2D, or if it's always like it just turns it 2D at a certain point, because there's definitely like objects back there. Yeah, you can see it there. Looks like it, yeah. Because when you're moving left and right, you can see the depth change, right, of the objects. And then once it becomes 2D, I mean, they don't move
This is
anymore.
highly unusual. It appears you have
It's hard to
entered
catch, but I think you
Somnascol's
can.
diagnostic framework. Patients do not have access to this dream. Diagnostic warning. Unrealistic use of dream objects may result in dream integrity fail states.
My brain is dying.
Please paradox from creating any refrains. Explosive dream overload may result.
Please paradox. It's getting louder.
Please overload for dream explosion. Conclusion dream overcall frame.
Oh.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and many years ago, I had a dream. I found myself in a place where I understood that each of us begins as nothing, where everything I perceived was shaped by seeing it exactly the way I wanted to. White space.
Hey. many times will they pull the floor out from under us? This is not my beautiful mind. It's not my beautiful sanity. Oh, I gotta turn around. What again? This is not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful Nippon.
But in white space, I also faced the greatest challenge I could imagine. Because with a lifetime of life itself behind me, and all of the weight that it carried, I realized that seeing things the way I wanted to was not as easy as it used to be.
Kill the past. Kill my brain. It's hoping to be like a perspective play there. Oh. Man, here we go again, man. You dropped me, tossed me. Oh, what's up, guys? Something to do with the colors. Glasses are like pretty as fuck. Yeah, I'm having fun. I only remember a very small amount from your playthrough. Luckily, I think I'm well past all that. We're in the final stretch. What did you end up thinking of this one? I don't remember. This will not be cleaned. Last window, starring Kyle Hyde. This guy acts like he solved all of her some wacky shit, man. You would have quit her, man. You would have gave up on her. You have no right. Figured to be some perspective thing like this. But... Smart, eh? I think it's just my eyelashes sticking together. I don't know if the colors really make a difference. I got bigger brain. The only winning move was to not play. Oh, and wait 15 minutes. Yeah, where's the wait 15 minutes puzzle in this? Oh, they did this again. Like how I only walked into these. You think I'd learn on that by now? But I don't know if we're gonna get another chance. It's like I'll get that kind of thing, like first try sometimes, but then I just won't. I guess because they put the wooden tunnels.
After all, if this is a place of pure perspective, isn't it also a place where a different point of view could make anything possible? Isn't that why you came here?
Was this doctor actually not a jobber? Is that what they're trying to tell me? A lot of walking in the last bit here. What I see was the last bit, it's got that kind of climax feeling. Maybe I'm not supposed to be out here. Figure a game about wacky perception and breaking out of borders and boxes and shit. They wouldn't let you go, or you know, if they let you go somewhere, you'd be like, have something to do with the puzzle or something. Like, damn son, you live like this. Nope. Get back out there. Just did a full circuit just for fun. Oh, if you pick it up, does it like not make it work or something? Just materialize the chessboard. Oh. That's cute. Not there unless you put something in it. Gotta make it real, man. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, how they make all this work and from a technical perspective would be really interesting. Like, there's some trippy just visual stuff, but there's a lot of neat, like, interactive shit too. Yeah, third person would be interesting. That's totally about the first person perspective. What time is it? What year is it? It's, oh, tell me o'clock. 8 a.m., dude. Mr. Anderson. Hey, it's time for work. Help me. Yeah, I'm sure in third person I mean, obviously everything wouldn't work the same from a gameplay side of things, but like it'd be cool to see like just what the fuck is like happening now. It's like shit in the bed, or maybe it's like intrinsically linked with first person. Like they've got some weird stuff that just doesn't work otherwise. I mean, it's kind of like where if you look at something and then you don't look at something in a game, it's loading in and out just naturally, and could be a lot of that kind of crap on like a bigger scale.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and by now you may have realised that all of this has happened exactly the way it was supposed to. You see, everyone who comes to the Institute does so because they feel that they are no longer in control of something important to
The
them.
doctor's actually not an idiot. Let's hope their minds don't
But
melt.
more often than not, the problem is not that the problems we face can't be solved. The problem is that we become so afraid of failure that we refuse to see our problems from a new perspective. And so, we do the same things again and again and again. And therein, of course, we find exactly the failure we were looking for.
What if I just sat here for the rest of the game? What would you say to that, Doctor? I'll never have my mind saved. I won't allow it. Hit the showers, Doc.
Your life will always be a struggle, and you will always have problems. But today, you have the chance to see things differently. Even though it meant
You
facing
really are the
obstacles that seemed
Superliminal.
impossible at first, you thought outside the box, and you overcame them. Because you saw things from every angle, you understood them for what they really were. Because you kept moving forward, no matter how far off the path you were told you were headed, or how unexpected it became, you found your way.
Yeah, they're trying to make it like kind of bigger than it is at the end. RT. Big message kind of thing. Which is all well and good, but it's actually a pretty big chunk of the runtime. I think it's cute that they make him seem like an idiot, but then he's not an idiot. And I feel like what they're saying isn't even that bad, but...
In a few minutes, you'll be back in the real world. And some part of you will say that...
But that like indie game that tries to, you know, it's like a 2-hour game with like a cool gimmick, and then it tries to be like huge, you know, big message at the end. I feel like it's kind of typical. I don't know, like... I get wanting to make your thing big at the end, have a big message,
So,
art and all
could it
that.
have really meant anything?
Yeah, I like what it's trying to say too. I don't think it's really even like that
Just like the
bad.
power of perspective itself,
I can see where
it will
people
have been as
would
real
have an issue
as
though.
you believed it to be. All you've got to do is wake up.
I don't know, I feel like the game's biggest problem would be its length. But I mean, it's fine. Wake up. Neo! Chrono! A lot of asleep characters. I don't know, I like it. I mean, I'm playing off Game Pass, so I don't have any, like, price thing. And it'd be cool to have more just because of how cool the stuff was, the perspective shit. But I feel like it's a really cool idea that only like a video game could really do. Explore some like out of the box kind of perspective puzzle solving, and there's some fun imagery there. I don't mind the story stuff. The guy's VA was good. I think they could do more. Yeah, I think they could do more. But what's there isn't bad. And I do think that like having the last 20 minutes or so be kind of the preachy stuff is, it's not a big deal, but for a 2-hour game, I could see people having an issue with it. I like this kind of, I appreciate this kind of stuff more than some like 80-hour, no risk, boring ass fucking open world game. I mean, I would choose this game over Sable. Every time. Every time. Every time. This has a concept and it actually executes it. And explores it enough. The thing is, a lot of these things, like I said earlier, is you can't just, there's not that much you can do with, let's say, like just the way the item blocks work. Like they kept throwing more spins on everything and different kinds of concepts about perspective. But I understand that like making all of that probably work in like a coding way, and like trying to keep it spicy and not just like pad out the length might be a little rough. It'd be cool to see something again like this. But yeah. Yeah, this for sure. Sable tries, but it does not execute like this does. And I don't really even mind, man. Because I mean, they set it up to be kind of like a funny, wacky Stanley Parable thing, and then it's actually that like the guy's competent. This was all part of the plan, and I think that was a cute thing. Yeah, it is a little like preachy with some of the stuff, but I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. Maybe I'm too used to fucking shitty ass stories lately. So I'll take that. Maybe we're just into the twist of it more. Very short though. I mean, that was 2 hours. I mean, I was kind of trying to blitz through it. We had like a 10-20 minute mode we were stuck. Developer commentary. Mode unlocked after game completion. Challenge mode. Did I not just complete the game? May exit and come back, maybe. I'm curious. Oh, I liked it. Interesting. Okay, now I have a select level option. Like actually works too, which is nice.
Hello and welcome to the Superliminal Developer Commentary. I'm Albert, Game Director of Superliminal. Myself and the rest of the team will be popping up every now and then as you play. With subtitles open, you can see who is talking and what their role on the game is.
Our patent-pending Somnosculpt technology provides.
Do I play through the whole game again with the dev commentary? It's not like it's a long game. I'm interested, but we also have a lot of games to play.
Located right next
I was
to
just
the
talking about this earlier in this game.
the University Medical Center.
Like this kind of stuff's cool.
Somnosculpt will make you.
We'll do a bit just to see how the commentary is. It's from like a technical side of thing. I'm really interested in to explain any of the tricks or stuff like that. I'm sure the beginning's gonna be more just like,
Hi, my name's Chris. I was the producer and
here's
designer
why
on
we wanted to
Superliminal.
do it.
Hi, this is Will O'Neill, and I was the writer on Superliminal.
Okay, so that very beginning of Superliminal is actually one of the last parts we finished. Throughout development, we created so many different introductions to the game. Not all of them were cutscenes, like that one, but we ended up feeling that that in-game video sequence offered a really smooth on-ramp that let us set the framework for what's to come. By keeping it grounded in the world, rather than just a video, we felt it to be a good way to get you situated in the game and aware of what's up.
So, when I wrote the opening line of "Are you filled with feelings of self-doubt" at the beginning of the game, I was definitely
This will probably be
envisioning
longer. Yeah, I expected one fake loading screen, but I don't think we got one unless I accidentally like triggered it.
a player immediately unconsciously responding with yes.
I think this will take
And of
longer
course,
than the
purpose of
actual
that
game
is to sort
took.
of pull you into the idea that you're not playing a character in the game. It's you inside this experience. And of course, making it clear that the clinic itself is not necessarily the safest or most prestigious place to get treated creates an immediate tension, especially when the very first thing you do in the game is accidentally sign away all of your rights.
I can't say I'm too interested in the story side of things here.
A lot of people ask about how the resizing mechanic works. The concepts are actually quite easy. To keep an object looking the same, assume if we move the object twice as far away, it just needs to be twice as big. It's all proportional. Interestingly enough, this also works no matter what field of view you use. The hard part of this mechanic isn't the actual resizing. It's trying to figure out where the object needs to be. To do this, you need to test a weirdly shaped object with a weirdly shaped background, and try to find the right ratio for the object to be big enough to not touch anything, while keeping everything accurate and optimized.
So it's just like constantly shifting the size or something as you're going.
Hi, I'm
That
Logan,
makes
and
no
I'm
sense.
level designer on Superliminal. A difference with the main resizing mechanic in this game is how much freedom it gives the player. This puzzle is a good example. In most puzzle games, if you put an object on a button in this scenario, The object
What's up,
doesn't need to
Logan?
be moved anymore. The key to unlock the door removes the key from the problem space.
Where did it
But
go?
unfortunately, in our game, you can just turn around and grab the object from any distance away. Therefore, we've gotten good at adding barriers in many places so people won't carry an object through all puzzles forever.
Yeah, I like dev commentary.
Confirmed. You can move freely, interact with surrounding objects, and listen to messages from your patient care
Just makes it
team.
interesting, especially with
Please
something
note
like
that I am
this
the
that's got a
standard
lot of
orientation protocol, and that my voice has been explicitly chosen
inside
to
want
remind
how
you
some of
that
the
I am
tricks
not
where
a
you
part
can
of your patient
thought
care
processes
team.
and some of it.
I do not care.
Like, I don't know if I'd want like a dev commentary on like. Well, no, a dev commentary any kind of game would be alright.
Hi,
Some are more
my name is
interesting at
Alex,
least.
and I performed gameplay programming on Superliminal. When I joined the project, there weren't really any menus except the absolute bare minimum to get the player into the game, and there wasn't any keyboard support either. So the first order of business was to add proper mouse and keyboard support to the title and pause menus. The hardest part was supporting switching between the two on the fly, because you never know when the player is going to do it, and it could lock them out of the game. With that foundation laid, I started working on controller support. In terms of the menus, there wasn't much work to do. The pad basically acts
So is this like its own engine?
but gameplay was quite a different
Not
story.
sure.
As we approached launch, we all agreed that controller support wasn't quite up to par, and so we shipped without it, adding it around a month after launch.
Oh, really? I mean, it's
To
better
make
to play
controllers
keyboard
feel as
mouse
good
than
as
this
mouse
anyways.
and keyboard, I wrote a bunch of code to modify how controller input is interpreted. For mouse and keyboard, input is more or less one-to-one mapped to player movement. So you move the mouse and the camera turns. But that doesn't feel good with controllers. Trying to pick up a very small object, say a chess piece, could be quite finicky. In the end, I made it so looking around accelerates the longer the stick is pressed.
Yeah, I've noticed that, but I feel like it's too much too quick. I mean, I guess it does the job for the kinds of levels there are, but like, I mean, you definitely move farther, but like, you barely hold it for like,
horizontally, and also while you are holding
even
the
just like a
object.
tenth of a second, you're fucking
Probably the
hauling
biggest
ass.
change was a quote-unquote auto-lock feature, which draws the focus to a grabbable object as your cursor gets closer to it. All these changes
Does it?
culminated in controllers feeling much more accurate and satisfying.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad for sure.
Throughout each level, we try to give subtle hints on which objects are grabbable and which aren't. This is more of an introductory level, so it doesn't have a lot of objects. But you might notice that grabbable objects, in yellow, are complementary colors to the background colors of green and beige.
During eyelids, you will lose the ability to awaken suddenly due
There's
to
quite a bit of foreshadowing throughout this level.
evidence.
We wanted to hint at the mechanics that are going to come later in the game. For example, the projection, the clone, and the portal hallways later on. Little things like that feel like visual treats when you're playing this level, but serve as fun reminders when you play for a second time that we kind of told you the whole thing all along.
The whole thing. There's nothing back here.
Warning, you have deviated from the orientation pathway. At the Pierce
Hi there,
Institute,
I'm
patient
Steve,
safety
the art director of
Steve.
Superliminal.
corporate priority
What's up, dude?
tetrahedron. A
One of our
variable
main visual
degree of
touch
What can you tell us
for
today,
this section
Steve?
centers around a couple of silly questions. What would someone in the early 90s dream up as a futuristic testing facility? And how could they build that on a shoestring budget or with infinite time? I feel like those two questions were ones we actually asked ourselves more than once during the process of making this game.
When we were playtesting, we realized that players were getting tripped up on different aspects of the resize mechanic. So we tried to make each puzzle in this level teach a specific action. The cheese puzzle is our way of forcing players to make something from very small to very big, and the puzzle after that is the opposite. This broken window puzzle is to teach you how to make things small and fit through a hole, but at a distance, so you can't simply walk up to it.
Please provide a comprehensive, rational explanation in your post-procedural survey. Completed surveys may be eligible for a gift card.
I almost forgot how to solve that one, man.
We had this looping hallway for a while, but it was very nondescript and players got confused on where they were and they would get turned around.
Almost.
Artist Steve held pockets,
Okay,
windows, and
easy. I'm
lookups so
listening,
people
man.
can tell where they are. Immediately, we found that playtesters weren't getting lost anymore and understood the moment.
Right. Interesting to playtest something like this because it's all about perspective and shit. A bit more. I mean, I guess that's like all game design, like the psychological, like how you like goad players into doing things or make them think things to help lead them along. But it's like a little extra in this, right?
Our core game mechanic is so novel that we immediately drew comparisons to other quasi-sci-fi puzzle games. And since our game is about playing with and subverting expectations, we wanted to lean into that and start the first level with a kind of test chamber aesthetic and immediately break that going forward. Narratively, this space is what Dr. Pierce planned to have his dream therapy program look like before it all went wrong.
$40 to play a game I've already played. Wait, what game? Oh, Diablo 2. Yeah. Can't say I'm too interested in coughing up the buck for that. The titties removed. Yeah. Oh. I didn't get both buttons, dude. Did I click this one yet?
Our core game
Oh, there
mechanic
it
is
is.
so novel that we immediately drew comparisons to other quasi-sci-fi puzzle games. And since our game is about playing with and subverting expectations, we wanted to lean into that and start the first level with a kind of test chamber aesthetic and immediately break that going forward. Narratively, this space is what Dr. Pierce planned to have his dream therapy program look like before it all went wrong.
We don't like sex. It's unnatural.
Please stand by for polite recognition on your completion of the Somnasculpt orientation.
Yeah, I don't know. I've played Diablo 2. It's a good. I mean, it's good stuff, and I hope people have fun with the remake of it. But I played it recently, like within a few years ago, so it's like I can't get too interested. So is it like better than the Warcraft 3 one at least? There's no way it can be as bad as Reforged, but like, other than Blizzard being Blizzard, is it supposed to be good? I don't like the redesigned characters much, but obviously the censorship stuff's not nice. My bingo card. It's permanently checked. Can't do... No longer being offline or being able to host LAN parties. Really? You can't play offline or host LAN parties? What the fuck? Jesus, I played online when I played it. Mod support's fucked. Yikes. True, I hope you could play the original and they didn't fuck that up again, like with
To maximize
Warcraft 3.
the time allotted for your therapeutic journey,
That was
please
really
do not
stupid.
delay in proceeding through the final doorway as indicated.
It's really dumb they did that. Mods are dangerous. I'm guessing you could in the original. Yeah, hopefully you can at least buy the original and still play that. Or that, like, if you're playing the original game, it doesn't just, like, replace it. Like it did with Warcraft 3. If you used the BattleNet, it did. Just replace the old game. All the new crap. That wasn't good. Even though, even if you didn't own it, it would still download all the shit.
The reason we ended up with this sleep clinic section is because we wanted to convince players that they might have actually woken up from the dream. so we don't have any dreamlike mechanics you can play with until you get to the vending machine. Later on, this becomes a hub you come back to in order to emphasize the feeling of waking up from a dream within a dream.
We want the first moment of people walking into this hallway to feel different from other first-person puzzle games. This hallway is designed to feel surprisingly warm, which helps make it feel a little bit surreal and a little bit odd. Throughout the game, we're bouncing between these two feelings, the feelings of warmth and coldness.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things, if that kind of modding was rampant and people were getting fucked, then okay, but like if you just want to make a custom game and tick allowing mods, you should be able to do that, right? I get not just like doing a random matchmaking and then mods just pop up and maybe there's some kind of like fucking wacky computer fucking deleting bullshit, but like, yeah, you should still allow players to choose that themselves. Yeah, I didn't realize it was $40. I don't know. I mean, that's sadly pretty par for the course for remakes. And they've probably done more on this than a lot of remasters that charge more, but I still, yeah, wish remasters and remakes were a little cheaper in general. It's not an excuse, it's just kind of like, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I don't know much about the D2 modding scene though, so I guess I really can't weigh in much on it.
This is Matt.
I know Warcraft 3 is it's all about modding, but I've never heard of many D2 mods.
Sound. So my brief for the jazz part of this soundtrack was always to do my best to emulate the iconic solo jazz piano sound of the great Bill Evans. For that,
his voice cracking and stuff. Based wholesome music, man.
I listened to an album called Alone. My process was to try to compose my own superliminal jazz standards. I fleshed out the first chorus and melody. Later on, I workshopped and recorded with my good friend John Reeves. And I'm so glad I did because his piano skills are so much better than mine.
Hey, man. Come on, Matt. Give yourself a little credit, man. Yeah, there's no way it's gonna be. I mean, there's no way. It's just almost impossible. It's as bad as Warcraft 3's, right? They'd be insane to release something that bad, and it's in-house and not out. Source. Not that in-house Blizzards are great, but you know what I mean. What did I grab here? Grab something. Like the exit sign, I think. Yeah. I was trying to get this up there. It's kind of finicky. But yeah, either way, it doesn't mean that D2's that'd be great. I know Rocky's playing it right now, so I'll have to ask him what he thinks.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to talk to you about being special.
I mean, Blizzard's kind of under the magnifying glass right now. So no matter what, people are gonna have issues, but I'm curious if there's like really big ones. I mean, modding that definitely sucks.
No idea where you are.
I don't know how like.
But not to worry, we're working on.
I don't think like a remake should ever really cut any content. I think there should be more. That's already bad, but also I don't know really how big the modding scene is. So it might not be the biggest deal. Really? Where's the dev commentary, man? There's been some specific stuff, but we're still kind of in the general territory, I guess. I got the game kind of auto moves you to line up with this. Like, I want to see them talk about that shit. Just like create the object, I guess.
Hi, my name is Ryan, and I was the principal artist on Superliminal. Optical's pink hotel hallway was the first area we nailed down visually and served as a starting point for how we approached the art for the rest of the game. We wanted enough decoration for it to be interesting to the player, yet it couldn't have too much visual noise, or else the player would get lost and overwhelmed. We made interactable objects the complementary color of the surrounding environment, which helped them pop more and feel more important. After we were happy with how this part of the game felt, the rest of the locales came together much quicker, and we required less iteration.
Yeah, I don't get... Blizzard's always been bad about, like, restricting mods and, like, wanting to, like, take control of a lot of them. That's why StarCraft 2's modding scene really isn't as strong as stuff like Warcraft 3's and shit. They've got a very... I think they have a lot of, like, legal terms and stuff going on where, like, they essentially own, like, every mod and they can do what they want with it at the end of the day, so they don't have another situation where they can't capitalize on, like, Dota. Like or where they can capitalize on Dota. Well, that, and it's like, at this point, I mean, modding, you might as well just make a game, right? And then, like, learn how to mod some of these, like, Blizzard games. I don't know. I think going out of their way to, like, limit modders or fuck them is bad when it's already kind of, like...
Hello, my name is...
Not
Dr.
always super,
and I'm just popping in to give you a quick update on...
distracting, those voices. So. When it's already not, like, an amazing thing, like modding a game sometimes.
We still don't know, but please keep moving forward, and hopefully you prefer frequent updates to being reminded that you are completely lost.
I mean, I guess every game still gets mods, but... I just don't see why you'd ever want to, like, shit on the fans or shit on modding in any way. That's one of the things that keeps a game thriving and, like, being talked about. And you're directly, like, taking a dump on some of your most, like, avid supporters, right? People are gonna put in, like, their time to, like, change something in the game, like, for free. Like you said, at the minimum, just, like, just make it an option. Can you actually get up to this? What's happening with the objects? The game's all about perspective. I mean, you just think about it, right? Like, okay, so this object right now, you know, it's like when you put something up next to your eyeball, like your finger, but like, what if your finger was actually that big from like a different perspective kind of thing? Or like when people like do the little, I'm gonna crush your head thing, but like, it actually kind of work. Like, the object's always like changing size because it's all based on perspective, I guess. Like right now it's like small, but if I like look at it the same size from far away, it's big, right? You know? If that makes sense. It's a cool concept, and they do a lot more than just that. Which is why I'm kind of listening to the dev commentary, because it's interesting. There's like cute shit you can do, like dropping it on yourself so it gets bigger. Cause then it's bigger in your perspective and shit. Use the king to get in the door? Do you think I can hook it up there? Maybe I could do some jumps. What was this? I'll make it bigger and see if anything happens with it. I've seen one like this before. It's got like the chest piece. I don't think it matters. Yeah, there's a lot of cute stuff they do with this. Like you grow and shrink objects, but then you can like go inside of them and then it makes you smaller and bigger and stuff. Like almost exponentially. I have to like reset the game sometimes because it's so fucked.
Hi, my name is Phil Fortier, and
What's up,
I was
Phil?
the graphics programmer on Superliminal, and I also worked on some of the Easter egg design. So in this warehouse,
Yeah,
you'll
it
notice
doesn't.
that there are
Well, see, that's why I like this kind of stuff. Is like, at least they're like attempting to do something different, something new, like some kind of vision, right? Instead of just doing some fucking low risk cookie cutter thing they're known for, like another fucking like Dishonored type of clone.
actually 4 exits to the room, and the level geometry on the other side of the exits would actually overlap if it existed in real space. So to make the level design a little easier, we used our portal tech here. So the exits to the room when you leave the room are actually in vastly different physical locations within the level, but hopefully it should be all seamless for the player.
I have the power. I have the power. You can make stuff like giga small too.
My name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and we still can't find you. But you should now have access to a series of elevators that should trigger your subconscious to gradually wake you up. You should also find a variety of emergency exit signs that should lead you to them. Will all of this work?
This puzzle has the problem of requiring the room to not have a ceiling, which resulted with players wanting to escape the room. In a later update, we added a secret area above this room and a bunch of other secret areas based on where we saw players going.
Secret update. Can I get out? What the fuck? Yeah. I mean, it's fine if they want to like just do the same thing again and they, they just want it and they think they could do something cool with it, but yeah. I mean, it's like what Sony just talked about. As game costs increase or whatever, instead of trying to find ways, instead of, they're focused on more less risk stuff, right? Because if they're gonna spend a few $100 million on a game, might as well do something that has like zero risk. And I feel like in the big budget Western world, that kind of mentality is like what keeps games from evolving at all, like pushing the medium forward a bit. Like, don't get me wrong, there's still good stuff released, and even in that scene. But oh wait, you can take these off. That's right. It's just kind of like, I don't know. I just don't like the sterile no risk mentality. Like, why do something really experimental and crazy like this with a $200 million budget, right, to them? And it's like, I get that from a business standpoint. But it's just one of the reasons I feel like a lot of AAA gaming, especially from the West, is kind of grown more and more stale for me. Not bad per se always, but very stale. I feel like people should want a little bit more. You know, I was getting into a Sable yesterday. I was like, yeah, it's not bad, but like, you just normalize wanting like half-ass shit. Then I mean, that's all we're gonna get, right? I could use the cheese, but it's more about creating something tall enough at the I don't think I've ever tried to use a can in this yet. Sometimes I need to like drop this at a different point. Give me the cheese, man. Give me the fucking cheese. Oh, la 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 la. Fuck. I can just do it this way. Except I'm gonna fucking make this whole thing fall this rate. Go backwards and forwards. Oh, that's cute. It's cool they made Easter eggs out of stuff people were trying to break. Sold. Use what blue shit? The fabric. Nah. Oh.
The blueprints are one of the secrets that we add to the
Oh
game.
wow, he's got
And
something
if you
to say
find
here.
them all, you'll unlock a special secret.
What?
The diagrams are actually top-down wireframe views of parts of the levels, and they're blue.
What's the secret, dudes? Somebody look it up. Hurry. Goto. Do some work, man. Some work for the stream, man. Earn your lofty position, your self-appointed position. Oh yeah, so here's another thing, right? I guess if you guys weren't paying attention, like it, you know, like this is a door. And you like resize it.
Hello, my name
But it
is
changes how
Dr.
big you
Glenn
are
Pierce.
too.
In the event that this elevator does not wake you up, please don't interact with anything that strikes you as psychologically significant, as we will no longer have any way of
I don't know. I'm not trying to be one of those guys that's saying like, oh, modern games are bad, that kind of thing, or all AAA games are bad. It's not the case, but you're not gonna get as many creative like things that like push the boundaries, and not just in a gimmicky way, right? Just even just more like giga passionate, like type of things, right? From a group of like 1,000, 2,000 people making a game that's supposed to be only like no risk movie shit or something. Look up what Get 'em All does, man.
This is an automated message for all
Yeah,
patients who
doesn't.
attempted to use an alternate pathway to access the next phase of Somnasculpt therapy, but who have become trapped in a dream state paradox instead. Your decisions imply a failure of orientation, which reflects negatively on the standard orientation protocol. You will rectify this failure immediately.
So the standard orientation protocol character is obsessed with proper orientation, and that makes her kind of thematically antagonistic to the idea of truth being, intrinsically tied to perspective. But to me, the fun part of it was writing her as being
Factual
cruel
and true.
without there being any actual malice to it. Like, she has nothing
Toast
against you personally.
to facts.
Her
To
programming
the
simply
facts.
can't see beyond proper orientation as being the only thing of any value.
I do think Eastern games in a somewhat AAA environment still have a lot more creativity and passion as the standard. Not that I'm saying people aren't passionate that make Western AAA games, but just like you can just feel it a bit more. Obviously, there's things that Western AAA does that, the East doesn't. Like just raw graphics and shit, but there is something to be said about it. I kind of agree a bit on that. Just a little bit. In a very specific way, like big corporate AAA shit, right?
A Somnasculpt patient whatsoever.
Like I would play a game from Square Enix or Capcom any day over something like from Sony or EA. But that's my thing. Is like I'm just talking like very specific AAA stuff. I don't think Western gaming is better than Eastern gaming. I don't think Eastern gaming is better than Western gaming in a general way. In indies, it doesn't matter at all. In AA's or things like Pathfinder, which aren't about throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at something and balancing risk to like a crazy extent. Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore at that point. That's when people say like shit like that. It's kind of like, ugh. But yeah, with a very specific parameter, I do think the East does stuff better than the West sometimes.
An early challenge we had for creating the art for Cubism was how to approach the space and make sense of it. We started taking it a bit too literally. For example, how could we make sense of the door being so high up? Why would it be built this way? The solution we arrived at was simply not to make sense of it, because it shouldn't. We created a simple museum aesthetic that wouldn't get in the player's way of experimenting with and enjoying the puzzles. Sometimes keeping it simple is the way to go.
Between the colorful dream spaces, we have these, what we call back areas. These back areas serve as the backdrop to everything. They are where the dream spaces are built, and also the service hallways in between them.
Maybe I did.
We wanted to give them a colder, darker feel to
I'm not
contrast
too
with
worried
other
about it.
spaces in the game. But we also wanted to keep a
Look 'em
man-made
up.
feel, as if people were just here moving things, creating these spaces, doing work a second before you arrived.
Yeah, it reminded me a little of Charlie Kaufman's Synecdoche, New York. That idea of building a world inside of
Are
another
you on the
world.
second one yet, Klitsu? Like, we already finished the second one. You're still on the first one, right?
Originally, we had
Hell
little plaques
no.
indicating exhibits within the museum, but we felt it was a little bit too on the nose, so to speak. You are the main exhibit, so I imagine the players wandering around a game with an exhibit plaque hanging around their necks.
Halfway, holy fuck. It really is a beast.
Please note that a reluctance to volunteer for the risks associated with explosive mental overload implies a misunderstanding of all other solutions, all of which are far more traumatic and likelier to result in catastrophe. I am not capable of suboptimal suggestions. Please exit this dream as soon as possible.
Not all of our interesting perspective moments can be built into puzzles. Some are just great moments that break your expectations. This level interprets a cube in...
That's kind of what I meant earlier. Is like not everything can really work in a puzzle, or like more than one puzzle.
multiple different
There's
ways.
just not enough like
Even though none
engagement.
of these are difficult puzzles, they all work together to create a whole series of back-to-back surprise moments.
Yeah.
It was fun finding the balance of making it feel like someone was messing with you, without making it feel like the cube is sentient.
Yeah, I would do turn-based. I don't really like real-time with pause that much. I mean, it's fine, most of them are, but I kind of like the slowing it down, picking stuff. I'm more willing to use like wacky shit or strategize more. Or I'll just use like cheesy shit, like in Baldur's Gate, like some Fireball too, just to be quick and bust ass real quick. That's so quick, like 20 times. Zoom. And I would still say that gaming in general is the best it's ever been, right? I've always thought that. I mean, you could if you're like focusing on like the popular stuff or the AAA stuff, maybe you could say it's not, right? Compared to the times we're getting like many games a month that were crazy, like, oh, DMC3 is releasing the same month as, you know, R4 or something. I don't know if that was the exact. I don't think those are the exact times, but if you consider indie gaming, which you should, as like, you know, a very important part of gaming, there's always something getting released that's crazy. And then you also could have your crazy, you know, bazillion-dollar budget games, but you can also have like smaller stuff, like mobile crap if you want. There's a lot, you know, there's like VR, there's a like bigger scope of what games are out there. Different, the price points, different amounts of like money put into them. I mean, I would say right now it's, while it's a lot, I mean, there's a lot of shit, the scope is much bigger. And I think the amount of good games probably releasing a month or probably is way bigger. But there's people who are like, oh, there's no good games anymore. You clearly just don't care about like like any indie shit, right? Or you just don't like look around at all. People don't want to like explore a bit. You're not just gonna get Nintendo Power and they'll tell you what to play anymore. You actually have to fucking talk and look around and just test shit. What's up, Lassie?
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn.
He rises from the grave. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, it's kind of a different deal, but yeah. Dead IPs, it always sucks. Crappy remakes. That's another, like,
Touring the waterfall Serenity Zone
bit of stagnation, I guess. We were talking about low risk, right? I feel like remakes and remasters kind of play into that really hard. Why you see probably so many, right? That's definitely that like corporate kind of, you know, for money mentality. Remake a remaster of something that people know is good and very low risk, low cost, and still can sell a lot. I don't hate that for sure, but it's also one of those things like there's just millions of them, and that money could be put towards maybe making something fresh, something good, something crazy. Something pushing the boundaries and it just doesn't happen. But that's like some really perfect world shit. I mean, another good thing about remakes and remasters, I guess, is that it could give some series like a second chance. Like a new ActRaiser game remade well, you know, the Egavania collection just came out. Like, does that mean we're gonna get more of those? It could be, you know. Yeah, for sure. Lassie. Yeah, that's just the thing with the new remakes themselves. Not even really a problem with the concepts of them. They're just bad remakes. I don't know, it's just
Still be
bad other kinds of
feelings
games.
worthless.
Yeah, that stuff sucks. That's I would feel like the Majora's Mask, like 3D is a good example. Or stuff like the Forest Temple and Ocarina of Time. Those aren't the worst. Stuff like Warcraft 3 is the worst, but or they just kind of like kill an atmosphere, or change something that, you know, they just smell like Demon Souls. You know, they just like miss the point of certain bits of atmosphere and shit like that. But those are just bad remakes, not really like a case for saying remakes are a bad concept. Yakuza Kiwami are remakes, yeah. It's a PS2 game remade into the Yakuza Zero Dragon engine.
And self-doubt. Why do
This level came about because we explored the idea.
Yeah, personally I don't have a problem in general with remakes and remasters. I wish some of them were... You always wish they were better, and you always hope that they can revitalize or not be used as an excuse to not make any new stuff. It's kind of like with movies where it's sequels, just non-stop sequels kind of thing. I feel like it's the same kind of mentality. It's all about the risk.
Of the game being an
Since the media makes so much money and it costs so much money to make something,
this level was the horror level, and
you
I
get
immediately
stuff
knew
like
what it would
that
be
popping
about.
up.
Getting the player to be scared of their own shadow. None of the scares are actually real, but the player doesn't know that right away. We scrapped the anthology idea, but this level worked so well that we kept it. One aspect we wanted to explore and draw from was movie scene cuts. Basically,
They showed some gameplay at the Nintendo Direct. It just looks like a remaster. There's no way that is a remake. It looks totally just like a little remaster. So I don't see how they could fuck it up. I mean, I guess you could fuck up a remaster. Look at Sonic Colors Ultimate. Oh, is that not the remake? Are they doing a port and a remake? I just figured it was the remake. I actually am not sure. Oh, they're remastering it and... Okay, this is what I mean. There's a remaster and a remake coming. Okay. Well, I guess not though. They're going all out, dude. The Switch
how a
fucking
match cut in a movie
sucks.
might make sense in a game. This next moment is a good example. Carefully watch the cloud in the distance. You'll see that it cuts to a new scene.
Boo.
Nice to have commentary, dude. Best. Because you get stuff like RE2 Remake, which is like this crazy reimagining, or I don't say it's even a reimagining, it's a little bit, but kind of like taking a game and like remaking it into like a modern flair to it, but like it works, right? And like that's kind of stuff's cool. Like, I mean, I like remakes because of that. Or something like FF7 Remake, I guess, which is more of just like a complete reimagining of it, sorta. Like, I think it's, if people want to explore those kinds of ideas, that's a cool thing. I don't think people should not want that. It's just when you get God of War 3 remastered for $60 a few years after it comes out, kind of shit that it's bad. Or like Last of Us 1's getting remade. It's like,
Hello, my name
I don't
is
have
Dr.
to buy
Glenn
it,
Pierce,
but I'd rather that fucking money go towards them making like
and I'd
something
like to
new,
talk more
right?
about
Like
the
a new
feelings of
Jack or
worthlessness
something.
and self-doubt I mentioned before. You feel this way because you want the kind of happy life you see all around you.
Dino Crisis would
You
be
know
awesome.
everyone else is enjoying. And
Yeah, I
that's
like Remake
exactly
2 a
why
lot.
we're here to help.
I wish there was more dev commentary in this. I'm interested in like most of the rooms. I mean, there had to be a lot of thought that went into like every single room, right? It's not like they just made them in like an hour.
You were advised to subject
The object used in this puzzle was originally a flashlight, but unfortunately, because of how the mechanic works, it always placed the flashlight at the end of the room, which is not a particularly useful position for a flashlight. We tried a couple of things, but finally decided to switch to an object that could glow from both ends.
Yeah, exactly. Just free money. And it's like, I don't know. A part of me is like, if people want that, they want to play it, like, whatever. It's just such a, like, a dull kind of usage of, like, game dev talent and time. It's like, if they want to do it, they want to do it. Whatever. I mean, who am I to say, especially if you want to play it? But it's like, it's not like it's something interesting, you know, like if they did a remake FF6, it's like, it's a game that's not even fucking old. That's been remastered and ported bazillions of times in recent years. It's like, man, what a fucking, you know, like, what is that doing for games as a whole? Like, it's nothing really. They should only make fucking games like that. Son of a bitch. Thief every year. Thief release every year. Yeah, I don't know. I thought they said something about not even like wanting to do it, but they're doing it anyway. I don't remember the story on that. I don't know much about the Last of Us remake.
When I prototyped
I need to
this
make sure
part,
it's
there was going to be a
legitimate.
shadow of a monster
I haven't
on the
heard of it in a
wall,
while.
but it turned out to be a bunch of random objects when the lights turned on. The shadow always looked silly though, so eventually the reveal became the blood actually being red paint.
This room was one of the biggest technical challenges we had in the game.
Originally, this was one huge room, but turning our dynamic lights all on abruptly killed the frame rate, so we ended up chopping the room into smaller areas so we could hide and unhide objects from the player's view once the lights turned back on. This would lessen the amount of objects getting hit by lights at the given time, thus saving on performance.
Yeah, I remember Phil even tried teleporting the player to a completely new room, but that change-up was a bit too visually obvious, and we eventually realized that chopping up the room was the answer.
Phil. And I guess maybe I'm just like bitching about business decisions compared to artistic decisions. Like remakes, remasters, to a certain extent. Like, I mean, remakes can be chosen to be done from like a artistic perspective, or yeah, again, because they want to like try something different, see if they can redo it this way. But I think it's just like, yeah, you hate seeing too much of that like corporate money choice kind of stuff, right? And a lot of like Western AAA stuff feels like it's based almost solely around those kinds of safe, sterile, group tested kind of decisions, sort of shit. So different degrees of that, I feel like it's more or less nasty.
We wanted to do a unique alarm clock for each level, but this is the only one that survived that idea.
The game just blows up, yeah. Aye, my game. Where the fuck? The dev commentary, dude. I enjoy the game, but I am just replaying it for fucking shits, man. Where the fuck is the dev commentary? Yeah, maybe we could do. I wonder if we could do like a week, like an event. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna write a dev commentary event. It'd probably be mostly Valve games, 'cause those are the only ones I could think of that have like dev tracks, other than like Tacoma. I'm sure there's a bunch, but I just don't remember off the top of my head. It'd be a fun thing. Or just play through games with like dev commentary. More like a focused game dev kind of chit chatty stream or something, I don't know.
Part of breaking expectations is changing your definition of an object. A door, which usually keeps people out, becomes a flight of stairs if it is cloned enough times.
Dev commentary for Sable? I would love that. I would love dev commentary for games I think are mediocre as shit. To see the crazy mind games going on, or just like the thought process or the limitations, or maybe they had a dream for something and they fucked it, or maybe they have just a really bad conception, or an idea about something that's just is a bad idea. You know, just hearing it from their mouth would be interesting.
Attention. Dr. Pierce requires you to note the following risks of dream overexposure.
But you don't get that as much,
Significant
probably.
memory loss, both quantitative and qualitative. Hallucinations of dreaded or annoying.
Yeah, so this right-click to return sign that I bet you didn't even notice is one of the most unread signs in the game. It comes up later, and it's also one of the most unread signs in the game there too.
Just left shoulder to return. Oh. That's true, dude.
Yeah, so this right-click to return.
Yeah, you didn't miss the whole thing. We're in the dev track. We're about halfway through the game again, but doing the dev commentary.
Return sign that I bet you didn't even notice is one of the most unread signs in the game.
I think this is really
also one of the most unread signs in the
unread because you immediately want to turn this off, and then you see the puzzle, and then you see something happening, and at that point you've just completely forgot about the thing. I think it's more that it's not like, look, there is a smiley face. Or it looks like one. Did Willem Dafoe dev commentary? Instead of the devs actually talking, they just wrote down something for Willem Dafoe to say.
Let's talk about the smiley face. Because our goal was to break people's expectations, we prototyped a lot of weird moments like these. Some of them didn't work because they felt too meta. They would actually take people out of the game experience. This one, however, stayed because it was just subtle enough and playful enough that you could see it as a bout of insanity.
Aside from the core resizing mechanic, I think cloning the objects is one of the more immediately enjoyable mechanics that we put into the game. When we ran playtests, this one would always have people smiling.
I hate this one, dude. Because I just fucking like gimmick this one. I don't even know if that's what you're supposed to do. I don't know if there's like a clever way to do this. I just spam. Maybe I have to start it a little lower. Very small apples. They only have so many. Oh yeah. Can I even push these anymore? There's a max right now. Well, that's a problem. Don't know what the clever way of doing this was supposed to be. Now we've reached the peak amount you can have of object, I guess. If you could do it like this. I'd love to know what their intended solution was on this. I'm gonna walk off the side, man. We reached the peak again. What is the intended way of doing this anyways? This worked for me last time, but I don't think it's what they're after. Maybe. Maybe it has something to do with returning everything. Maybe you can do like this. Interesting. Spawning it like in the air.
Warning. Dr. Pierce is frantically submitting numerous spelling and grammar mistakes into the standard orientation protocol in a desperate attempt to counsel you. I have no subroutine to correct these errors, but I cannot compromise the integrity of the standard orientation protocol. You will not receive these messages. They would not make sense regardless.
I wish there was just more dev tracks. Like a lot of the rooms are like unique enough, it'd be cool to hear about them.
Dr. Pierce continues to input significant errors.
Players may notice the motif of the repeating purple hallway found throughout Clone. We wanted the player to have this feeling of, have I been here before? This seems pretty familiar. But we didn't want it to be too easy, or to be 100% unclear. So we introduced differences such as lighting, prop placement, and hallway length. That way, for most players, it was something chewing away at the back of their minds, as opposed to being blatantly obvious.
I don't even notice at all.
Lots of credit here to Max Hoarth, who plays the role of Dr. Glenn Pierce, for really nailing this bizarre line in an impressively short number of takes. We were totally prepared to have him record the words in like their logical order and rearrange them after the fact, but his performance of doing it correctly, incorrectly, was phenomenal.
Edge science with cutting, a tomorrow can bright. And buts, no ifs, or look good.
Based voice actor guy. Good work, son. Yeah, it was good. It was good for him. Gotta be something in here. I guess Monkey Island had one too.
This room kind of
The
happened.
Monkey Island remasters have dev commentary playthroughs available.
By accident. We originally just put a cloud video texture as placeholder as a way to expand on the cloud motif. It ended up working so well and fitting the tone so well that we made this a private theater room in the sleep clinic. It evokes a nostalgic and relaxing but slightly creepy feeling which seemed to fit the game perfectly.
On our monitoring system after a prolonged absence. Please continue to do whatever you did most recently, and discontinue whatever you were doing immediately prior to that.
Nothing on the resizing. Okay.
The sound effects that probably took the most tweaking were definitely all associated with the resizable objects. For them, I had to make a collision matrix so that the sound of you dropping a box or a cube would smoothly change from its smallest to its largest size and anywhere in between. So to achieve that, there were lots of different layers of the sounds, lots of automated pitch shifting, speeding up, slowing down, lots of crossfading between different layers of the sound, and a lot of trial and error to get it feeling right inside the game.
I'm too big still.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce. In addition to continuing and discontinuing as mentioned earlier, please also disregard any unsettling experiences that you may have recently had. Everything should have now reverted to being soothing and therapeutic. If this is not the case, you may be receiving this message in error.
I want to like hear about some of these rooms, man. That's why I'm playing. I'm playing it again just to hear the dev track. But otherwise, it's just like a raw remake or raw replay. Something in here. The trash. This is a blueprint. Not gonna be getting all those. I think we've already missed probably a bazillion of them.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to read you my favorite inspirational quote by me.
Fucking least favorite room here.
The puzzle existed for a long time, but it took a while to figure out what the art was going to be.
Yeah, I guess
The
this one's
bouncy
not that
castle
bad.
used to just be a weird L-shaped block. Eventually, we landed on the pool motif and the bouncy castle, and added a little bit where you go inside the vent.
You've ever held dear. Whatever you do, don't focus on that.
What was my plan gonna be? Gonna set the fucking thing just on there, I think it was. guess the size doesn't matter. How do I get it over there? Good enough, ma'am. I spent a while on this one in the first playthrough.
Because we have portals that you can resize, the player can freely change their own size. This actually created a design problem because you could never predict what size the player was supposed to be. And if we dynamically changed the size of the geometry later on in the level, things could break really easily. So instead, we added these portals, like this doorway over here, which changes size in order to resize you back to the normal scale of a human.
We should be able to initiate the emergency exit protocol shortly.
Changing the player size through portals has a couple of weird side effects when it comes to programming. You have the obvious ones, such as needing to change the player collider, movement speed, jump height, and mantling distance. You have a couple of less obscure ones, such as needing to change the camera's far and near clip planes, so geometry is less likely to clip through your camera as
I'm
you
still
get smaller.
too big.
Another interesting one we'll talk about later. Another weird thing about player resizing is that gravity is actually constant across all sizes. So imagine you're in the perspective of an ant, and a giant shoe is coming down from the sky to step on you. That shoe in your mind might take a couple seconds, but in real life, it would be instant. Whatever size you are, large objects traveling through space should feel like they are moving slowly. So when we change the player size, we're actually also adjusting gravity in order to compensate for this as well. This is physically incorrect, but this feels better for the player.
Fuck physics, am I right, dudes? Fucking rat map. Just like looks neat when like the objects are like bouncing around and then the inside's bouncing too. I'm a little man.
So that's my cat. His name is Finn, and he's a good boy. And we only had a day or two left before finishing the game, and we needed to figure out what kind of posters to put in our elevators. So I decided to have a little bit of fun with it, and this is by far my favorite, of course. The Cardboard Lovers Association also makes a nice little nod to the Cardboard Dollhouse.
Nice. Thought it was cardboard because like cat like to get in cardboard fucking boxes. Maybe it still is. I haven't seen some of these loading screens. I guess there are a few more. At this rate, we're just going to finish it again.
The emergency exit protocol is the shortest lived character in the game, but my heart really goes out to him. Because just like a triangle player in an orchestra, he has precisely one job and he waits patiently for his moment to do it, only of course to have it snatched away just as that moment arrives. I think many people can identify with this feeling.
You can tell this guy's the writer, man. Just the way he
Error
talks.
Analysis complete. You are exhibiting
can
signs
tell he's the
consistent
writer,
with an
man.
increase in fear, hopelessness, and frustration. This is inconceivable, as Somnasculpt therapy is proven to
interesting.
correlate with a decrease in these.
Like no one's always job on a game and just like he just talks more like I don't know how do you explain it. A little more extra. I'll say artsy.
Emotions. Hypothesis. Patient was improperly oriented. Conclusion. Impossible. Reformulating. Improved hypothesis. Patient requires
Making these like
additional
dramatic
somnosculpt
kind
therapy.
of comparisons to like
Conclusion.
triangle
Emergency
players and
exit
stuff,
protocol
and
cannot proceed.
the death of the
Emergency
character,
exit
and it's like, you know, the
protocol
other
has
guys are
been
like very
emergency
specific
destroyed.
and to the point about what they're talking about and stuff, and
Instruction. Continue with
not a bad
somnosculpt
thing, it's
therapy
just-
indefinitely on an independent basis, as all orientation resources have been exhausted. This concludes your
interesting.
standard orientation protocol. Goodbye.
people describe stuff different. Just some what their passions and jobs are and stuff. I was think it'd be cute to see somebody explain the same thing, like everybody explain it. See how it kind of sounded different depending on what their job was in the game development team. Oh yeah, what was the gimmick here? I already forgot. There might not be one. Yeah, I think it was just stops on its own. Another day, another zombie. KD can't
My name is Dr.
formulate what
Glenn
he's trying to
Pierce.
say, man.
Thank you for completing the Somnosculpt standard
We got them to talk for me instead.
orientation protocol.
Just been not getting enough sleep.
Before we begin the first phase of therapy, I'd like to briefly describe the finite and fragile
If you guys have ever just had like weeks like that, just have like many nights of shit sleep. I think my thing is I've just been up for like 20 plus hours every night and getting like 4 or 5 hours of sleep or disjointed sleep.
We had all these surprise moments.
It affects you, like streaming. I gotta be like talking all the time. A lot more stream of consciousness shit and a lot of poorly formulated fucking thoughts.
Moments. I wanted it to be fast-paced. The working title for this level is Chase. This is the boss level of the game, basically. It's inspired by the third act of the movie Brazil, how it gets crazier and faster paced over time.
I've not seen Brazil. I wish I had so I could understand that, but Brazil.
Of course, nothing is more challenging than the difficulty of changing perspective, of fundamentally altering your perceptions in a way that will enable you to face dire, trial-by-fire scenarios with solutions that could not be found otherwise.
Yeah, this area was fun because of the they'd surprise you.
The music throughout the game really goes through a significant transformation, but the piano is always there to guide you. Even as the music becomes darker and more electronic, it always has the melody, or at least a really significant role to play. It changes as you progress through the game. I switched to different types of piano, starting out with a piano Bill Evans famously recorded on. Later, switching to a more modern sounding instrument. I double it with prepared piano sounds sometimes, I use felt piano, and gradually more reverbs and delays as the game evolves. But at the heart of each piece is the piano.
I see them like talk about some of this shit, man.
Finally,
I mean, what's there is good, but I just wish there was like more.
every patient, you
Like you don't pick a dev commentary playthrough to like have dev commentary for like a third of it, right? Like just keep recording shit, man.
that it is possible to completely exhaust.
The original idea for Labyrinth
Like
was
constant
to explore
talk, or even if I gotta stand there and listen to it,
familiar
man.
areas, but with a new spin on them. Sometimes it was a matter of adding new interactive moments to turn things on their head, while for others, we would take existing locales and give them a new lick of paint and set dressing. Something familiar, yet fresh and unexpected.
That instability is perfect for the mood and for general world building too. Conceptually, different patients would be bringing different experiences with them into the dream state, and we wanted to reflect that.
So when I joined the project, this infinite elevator sequence wasn't actually infinite. It was just a very large block of, 20 by 10 elevators. And the performance, as a result, wasn't very good. And the illusion could be ruined if you walked all the way to one side. So one of the things I did was actually make it infinite. So there's a much smaller block of real elevators, and the player gets teleported seamlessly by portals on each end. And so the end result is an infinite elevator sequence that you can just go in one direction forever.
So like, you can see there's like depth, right? But then like as we get closer, I'm pretty sure there's like a point. Like it just like now there's no depth. Everything moves the same distance, right? That's kind of what I meant earlier. But I just want to catch the moment it like goes 2D, right? Because it must be that. Or there's some other tricks. See, this is what I'd like to. Oh, there it is, right? Specific time. Interesting to hear about like when exactly did they want it to, like when your view is filled just enough to pop to 2D to try to make it look tricky. Seems like the art guys are the ones who talk the most. Yeah. Which I mean is neat for sure. But, yeah, hearing about like some of the more, it's a game about perception, so hearing about like how the tricks would work or what kind of like perception tricks they wanted to pull on people, and like just hearing the dev commentary on that kind of stuff, or even just the technical side of things, like how to make some of these work, or some of the issues they had maybe after they made the ideas up.
So coming up with the way to actually make the portal and the portal make sense for the player was a really tough problem. And we iterated on this for weeks with input from all different team members. So it was really a group effort. But it was important to get it right.
Anything
this
over
is one of
here?
the pivotal moments in the game. And then another thing we had to do was figure out how to make the world degrade in a way that fit with the game's look and feel. And one day while prototyping, I just happened to accidentally assign a light map texture to one of the walls in the room, and I really liked the way it looked. Light map textures are textures generated by the engine offline to help with realistic lighting. So anyway, we ended up using this. So when the world degrades, the shafts of light breaking through the walls into the rooms, and that effect is actually driven by a light map texture from one of the other levels.
Please overload for dream explosion.
So you can never see both sides at once. You're only like in one side at a time. I remember if Portal was like that. Was there moments in Portal where you're like in both at once, or was it always like a full state thing? I'm pretty sure there was times where you're like half in.
This spatio-temporal moment of wonder is brought to you by the very long but invisible rectangular portals tucked behind these empty windows, looking out into other parts of the level you may soon travel to.
Neato. Nothing? Okay, come on, man.
This final level was designed with the idea of removing depth perception entirely. All the visuals are flattened.
I found myself in a place where I understood that each of us begins as nothing, where everything I perceived was shaped by seeing it exactly the way I wanted to. White space.
I need some dev commentary for this bit because this section generally is just walking. Well, there's some nice visuals. We're about near the end, so it'd be cool to hear some shit. Well, the replay, even with the dev stuff's gonna end up being shorter by a good bit still. The speed run. Nice, you can walk out here if you want. Anything happen? Shocker. I think I'm definitely more willing to do like a dev commentary on something like this too, because it is a pretty short game with a lot of interesting stuff going on for how short it is. Like if we did it as like an event, then obviously that wouldn't matter as much. I would just, you know, we would just do whatever.
But in white space, I also faced the greatest challenge I could imagine. Because with a lifetime of life itself behind
Perhaps I don't
me,
have the writer
and
talking
all
about
of
this
the weight
shit.
that it carried,
Since the universe that the players inhabit
Art direct.
seemingly created in almost a kit-bashed way while within Somnosculpt, it was a unique challenge to
Kit
show the
bashed?
players
What was
truly
that?
peek behind the curtains of the system. A blank canvas, a scratch document, an empty sticky note with some notes, little things creatively interspersed throughout. I think I derive some of the inspiration for what happens when you're playing a VR game and suddenly the game crashes to a totally white space. That feeling of disorientation, even though you understand the world around you is an illusion.
Does this game have a VR mode? That would be pretty trippy.
Negative space is another concept related to changing expectations and changing your perceptions of an object. This puzzle works really well because the solution is obvious in retrospect, but it takes people a couple of seconds in order to figure out. We actually
Couple
had
seconds,
to
right,
add the
bros?
looping hallway because without it, people would run out of things to do and immediately start rubbing.
I think the yeah, I feel like the looping hallway is actually what makes it like bait. That makes you like not figure it out quicker. But I guess that's the idea.
their bodies against the walls and come to the solution almost immediately.
and further out than anyone has ever come back from. But we hope that you won't get discouraged. After all, if this is a place of pure perspective, isn't it also a place where a different point of view could make anything possible?
This part
Isn't that
is
why you
cute,
came here?
but it's a little tedious. We could put this on like bowls at the same time. Seems like it. Get all four. Nice. Tricky. Like, we're not hearing anything about this part, man. Are you gonna put an object in to make it, like, the other area even, like, appear? Like, why did they want to, like, try something different like this? Like, why not just keep going with what they got? Or, like, where did the idea come from? Or was there any weird things they had to do to make it work? Right? Like, anything, right? They could just literally just fucking talk about fucking nothing. And it'd be somewhat insightful compared to just doing it again. I'm not like knocking the game, you know. The dev commentary doesn't weigh in too much on the game, right? But I mean, as a dev commentary track on its own, I think this one's a little lacking. It's interesting, but I don't think there's as much insightful stuff as I was hoping. No, that would be one of the big things I would like to do during like a dev commentary like event. If I did one. Is Half-Life 2. So I know there's like a shitload. It'd be kind of interesting. I would like to do that Portal one too. Valve has pretty much dev commentary on like all of their games, so those would be nice. I need to find more games that have it. I'm not gonna do like a Tacoma one because I don't remember the fucking story though. On Tacoma, and I don't own the fucking thing.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and by now you may have realised that all of this has happened exactly the way it was supposed to.
This
I
last
mean, I
section
could.
was something that Logan and I worked together on for a really long time. When I first saw it,
I don't know if it'd be worth doing. I mean, I definitely could. There's definitely enough games that have it. It's just a question of, yeah, if, like, if it's worth doing, but I mean, might as well. It'd be one of those things that'd just be an interesting, maybe week about game development and stuff. Like, maybe we could watch some YouTube, some playthroughs of games like that. Or just could just do some more dev commentary playthroughs in general instead of a week of it. So I'll be right back. See, there's games that have like extras, right? Where they talk about the development, like the Monster Boy or that zombie one we did, or the was it the Dragon's Keep? What was it called? That old like animated one where you just click around and it's like you die a shitload. Dragon's something. Dragon's Lair? I think it was Dragon's Lair. Those are interesting, but they're just like, you know, videos or something you watch. I guess that works too, but that'd be something cool to do. An excuse to like replay some shit, maybe.
I had this great feeling.
Because as much as I like these kinds of things, I tend to not do them right afterwards because I mean I just play the fucking game and I got a big backlog, so
How it could be like
turning it into an
nice,
event would be
moment. And so I got this really,
reason to get me to do it.
Awe-inspiring, inspirational music to put behind it, and Logan absolutely hated it. I stuck to my guns and asked him to stick with it for a while and
He hated
play it
it.
for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, and see how things went. And he ended up totally coming around to my side of thinking. Initially, we were unsure if we went for this kind of pure feeling that it would just be really hokey. And I ended up reading this essay on television written by David Foster Wallace. And it really kind of encouraged me to kind of get over that sort of postmodern, too cool for anything aesthetic, and to just really go gung-ho into sort of rewarding you for ending the game by giving you something really nice.
This level was
That's
created early on.
interesting. Why can't I have some stuff like that the whole way through? Because we were talking about that. I was like, it is, you know, people complain about this game and that it could get preachy at the end and stuff like that. And them having this like, you know, serene, you know, big, like, you know, this the climactic kind of like song going at the end here. I mean, you could say that feeds into that. Kind of overselling it, preachy vibe, and I didn't have a problem with it, but it's interesting seeing what they think about it, and then how people perceived it in reviews and shit.
I liked the idea of giving the player some time to think about their journey rather than ending the game immediately, and I knew film-like cuts would be perfect for revisiting their experience through the game. Chris initially suggested a song for reference, and at first I hated it. I kept listening to it though, and eventually grew to love the song. Matt came up with a track that is even better than the reference.
Okay, this is actually a different song. All right, that's interesting.
Your life will always be a struggle, and you will always have problems. But today, you have the chance to see things differently. Even though it meant facing obstacles that seemed impossible at first, you thought outside the box, and you overcame them. Because you saw things from every angle, you understood them for what they really were. Because you kept moving forward, no matter how far off the path you were told you were headed, or how unexpected it became, you found your way.
I don't think we're gonna have much more commentary, probably like one or two. I wonder what the secret is if you get all the blueprints though.
In the real world, some part of you will say that none of this was real. So how could it have really meant anything? But just like the power of perspective itself, it will have been as real as you believed it to be. All you've got to do is wait up.
Well, that's 2 playthroughs there.
That's it. That's the game.
Yeah, and thanks for listening all the way through. If you did that.
I did do that.
Thank you for exploring our dreamy environments. I love you.
Whoa,
Models,
Steve.
textures,
Buy me dinner first.
avocados, let's see, materials, rubber duck, apples, a think that's all of the art.
And thanks for enjoying the music and sound.
And the writing.
And the code that holds everything together.
Writing was alright. Cool, man. Well, so I mean, one of the good and bad things is I've played through the game twice in 3.5 hours, and that's with my usual amount of
Are we going to
talking.
talk about the design goal of this level?
Please, do.
The goal was to show you who made the game.
Jokes.
Thank you.
Big jokes. I mean, whatever. Can't fault some guys for goofing around in a credits bit and a dev commentary extra. Yeah, I would say as a dev commentary thing, not that I have a shitload of like things to compare it to.
Hello, 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 hello.
Warning, the average adult can only withstand 3 to 5 hellos per night.
Absolutely.
They're still fucking around. I would say there's not enough. I'm interested. I would be interested in like knowing a lot more than they gave out. I think they kind of like undersold
Dr. Glenn Pierce, this is clearly
how much
intentional.
interesting shit they could have said.
Why do I feel like everything is going wrong?
Noted, Dr. Pierce.
Or they underestimated me. I don't know.
Warning, this is extremely rude.
It's hard to talk when we got stuff going on, so I don't want to go too crazy. I was in Unity, right? I don't know what Fmod is. I'll ask you all now.
My name is
Insignificant.
Anyway, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to thank you
This is respectful.
because you saw things from every angle. You found your way. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You're now headed in the right direction. All you've got to do is wake up.
Groovy. Anyways, yeah, I liked the game. I think I liked it more than I expected to, considering that you hear people have some complaints about the stuff like the length and all that. But like I've always said, that I'm kind of like a... I think I've played enough stuff at this point that I tend to put a lot of extra... I don't say bias, but like a lot of extra... I give a lot of extra credit to games to try to do. Try to break the mold a little bit. Probably more than most people would. But I mean, even outside just the novelty of it, I think it looked nice. I didn't hate the little bits of story. It sounded good. I mean, more importantly, just the perspective stuff is a really cute idea, and I think they constantly kept fresh things going on. It wasn't. There was nothing that felt like it just got old. Even when you're resizing things the same way again, they would have some kind of twist to it. Either you're using it as like a light, or things didn't end up as they're supposed to be, like you're resizing it and it actually was like, you know, turned to 2D or something, right? It was just a box instead of like a solid cube. And I don't know, they kept some creative fun stuff. They kept it funny in a way. It kind of kept it you know, shit, but you know, it also kept it gameplay wise from feeling tedious over a few hours, because I don't think the concepts themselves are something you could like just take and put in a white room and just keep making more puzzles with, right? Like a Talos. That's just not how it works. It is more about how the whole level and how the perspective and all this other assets and stuff have to like coincide. And so I could see why it might be short because of that. I think they got the point across. I think really the only problem with being short is that I'd like to see more cool stuff. I mean, from a technical side, I think it's funny, like, I mean, I had to reset a few times, but that was because of my own bullshit, not because the game was like, fuck. I mean, overall, from a technical side of things, for as much crazy, wacky shit's going on, nothing really broke. It was pretty bulletproof. And then you get, like, Sable, that for all intents and purposes doesn't do anything that crazy, and it's like fucking bust. So I mean, granted, this has been out for a year or two or more, so they might have had some time to patch it. Yeah, it was neat. Cool, there's extra modes. I don't know what challenge mode is. I'm not gonna really do it. What even is this, actually? I'm curious how you add challenge to this, unless they just add more obstacles. There's like speed. Let's see what one of these is real quick. I'm yawning a lot. Two.
Terms of service accepted. Congratulations
Oh,
on
like you
falling
do it in
asleep.
2 moves?
Welcome to Somnasculpt. Your progress may be monitored by qualified specialists. This orientation will adapt you to eyelids, our interactive, lucid induction dream state in which you retain full consciousness and control.
Huh. This is a cute idea. I'm not gonna do it, but it's a cool thing. Where they actually try to make it like a bit more challenge puzzly. I'm guessing you would like just walk up to the chess piece or something. I'm not sure. And I'm yawning a lot. Holy fuck. Are we gonna play something else? I don't know. I mean, if anybody's got any thoughts on the game or is it something you gotta like, yeah, I mean, if anybody's got anything to say on it, this would be the time, I guess. But I think we're gonna move on. The question is, do I start another game or am I so fucking tired from my wacky sleep schedule? Are we gonna go watch some movies? Yesterday we watched all the Matrix movies, which was fun. That was a nostalgia trip. 2 and 3 are definitely shittier than the original. One of the few gimmick indie games I actually enjoyed. Yeah, I would say that. I think it was a really well thought out and well executed game that didn't outstay its welcome, based around a gimmick. There's a lot of creative stuff going on, and it was a concept like actually worth exploring in as many rooms and stuff as they had. So it's very polished. It's very good. Let's see. Yeah. That's the big question. Am I gonna watch some movies or am I gonna play something? I got a big backlog. I got a lot of stuff I want to do and more horror games I'm building up. I think how it's gonna work is I'm gonna start the horror till Halloween, probably after we do Metroid Dread, which they're gonna send that to me and I'll probably play it, I imagine on like the 11th or 12th or something. And then we'll just go for a couple weeks for horror. Maybe I'll start a little early, I don't know. Because I don't know if I want to do a month straight of horror. I got a lot of stuff on the backlog. I am gonna like stretch what is horror a little bit. Maybe I could do a month. Then we'll just slide in Red. I think Lost Judgment, though, since they're sending that late, is gonna peak a bit into October, but since the event is horror till Halloween and not horror month, I can start it whenever I want. So that'll be good. But yeah, they're sending Lost Judgment a little later, so I think we'll have a good mix of VN. Oh my god. Good god. I mean, I am done. I'd like to do a movie every weekend or more, like we did last time. Horror movies, classics, or I mean new ones. Probably do. I'm trying to see what the priority ones are for me here. I think stuff like, oh yeah, I was gonna do RE6 Co-op, Doom 3, Luigi's Mansion. Gotta do replay that. Shredder 2, stuff like that. maybe doing the Evil Within. Things I planned on doing anyway soon. I kind of want to like put in there just to kind of do both. But a lot of small stuff like Garage and Misery. Maybe we could do Downpour, Shattered Memories. Keep going on that Silent Hill discussion thing. Fatal Frame. We got plenty of options. So. Raging Loop will be the VN we do. That should be cool. Yeah. I'm gonna start something now. So Iconfell leaves Game Pass October 1st. I think it takes 2 or 3 days to beat. I probably should start that within the next couple days. Oh well. I am yawning enough. I don't even know if I'm gonna do anything. Like, goddamn. We could do like some more art games. The Artful Escape here would be an artsy kind of music. Indie rock, I don't even know what kind of game. Not supposed to be very long. Flynn's platformer. Supposed to be decent. And Iconfell is kind of like an RPG, which seems decent. I've had people say it's pretty alright, but then I see some opinions on it are mixed, so I guess we could start it. Or I'll just take it. What would I do otherwise? Maybe I'll take a little break. Yeah, I'm gonna take a little break for now. Just because of the yawning and shit. I might take a nap. I already kind of had a small one, but might be back here within 30 minutes. Might be back tomorrow. We'll see. Keep an eye on the Discord. Might do some movies. I thought about doing the Bournes or something. I probably shouldn't do another trilogy because I'll end up watching all fucking 3 of them in a row. But maybe we can do like a Bond or something.